Welcome.
Please stand by.
Ugly. Captain.
Come back.
Captain.
All this power surging and throbbing, yet under control.
The captain has turned on the seatbelt light.
I want to bring to you today about spiritual war. I just want to say that to know who's throwing stones at you, who want to see you lose in some type of way, that's just a part of their characteristic, because they know no other way. They was already intrigued by fighting that way because they know no other way. You see, they already had this embedded in them. It's like the devil on their back. So what do? Somebody who's innocent. They say, you must say affirmations and pray your post-sweet soul out into the goddamn waters. And you do. They say you must read certain biblical verses in the Bible, and you do. They say you must believe even though someone got their foot on your intellectual property. It's not someone, it's something. It's a spirit. You return it back to sender. Is what you do. And then when you return it back, you make sure that when you do return it, that you throw it hard at them so they can feel the impact from your frustration and your livelihood. So that's all people doing out here is just fucking with people's livelihoods and fucking with their means of living and fucking with their mentality and fucking with their health and fucking with their children. And they just let me tell you something. Everybody is starting to turn over into this thing called retaliation on a spiritual realm, right? Ain't nobody fighting nobody no more. I mean, they shooting each other, even more so. I mean, the fighting is over, not like it once used to be before. A lot of people get out of fighting someone because as soon as you get ready to fight, somebody lifting up their shirt showing that they got a piece on them. So that kills the whole situation right there of fighting. That person is not willing to take that route anymore. Then they have another way where people contend war onto who they think is their opponent, and that's through the spiritual realm, which they have to be very careful because you don't know who is against you. The spiritual realm is wide and vast. Sometimes you don't even get no names unless you doing heavy duty divinations, right? So you can be able to pinpoint whoever it is. And then still at the end of the day, you still have to trust yourself because you can have a lot of people that's hating on your ass. And sometimes you don't want to hurt nobody. You just want to stop them from, penetrating you so easily with their spiritual influences that they have. So it don't matter how you go about all the options that you have, because you can go online and you can look up spiritual warfare and all that type of stuff and just get a million conclusions to how to overcome that. The main important thing is to keep your soul and your mind healthy, knowing that if somebody is warring against you, for sure it's going to cost you money. If you begin a war, for sure it's going to affect your financial ability to be able to stay secure in your environment and having a peace of mind, because that's the society that we live in, where you need currency to be able to have a peace of mind, peace of sleep. At least you need that to be able to have shelter. At least you need that to have food in your stomach. At least you need something to be able to monopolize off the situation that you find yourself in to make you feel a little bit more at ease when you live in your life. You release everything that was thrown at you. And the only way to do these things is through several tasks. Even if it's not several tasks, it can be 1, 2 tasks, but it's going to be every day. For the monkey that's on the person who throwing spiritual things at you, and for the monkey that comes against you, you have to do certain things to be able to wipe that away. So here's one is taking a bath, spiritual bath. It works. Sometimes it's just water, nothing else, just pure water. No bubbles, no expensive lavender patchouli soap, no sage burning, no incense yearning, maybe just a little bit of chakra music and sounds that will help you focus on your main concern when you're in the tub or when you're in some water and you dipping your head up under the water or you running the water over your head and asking for these things to be released off you, asking for your mind to have more peace, asking for the enemy to be stopped, knowing who you are as a person. People love when they not included. That's everything when it comes down to negative things. You need to know that. So while you struggling trying to get up a hill because somebody done put a stick of butter underneath your feet before you started as you climbing, for those who are also climbing, why would they care? At least it's slowing you down and they're able to progress past you, even if they don't know you, right? Picture you being in a car, you driving down the avenue and it's jam-packed, right? 2-lane street on one side, so it's 4 lanes, but 2 lanes, right? Now in the left lane, traffic normally goes slow, and then the right lane is like normally like, the left lane is the passing lane and the right lane is the regular lane, where speed limit is respected or not respected. Now everybody see that it's a light that's ahead. The car that's in the right lane is taking its time. Matter of fact, it's doing under the speed limit. And everybody's seeing that light been stale green for a minute and knowing that it's gonna turn yellow, then hit red. Now maybe the person that's driving in that lane is focusing on something that is troubling to them. So they're trying to ease their mind and slow down the process. And we already know that traffic is always fast, and people who drive are so irate when it comes down to their concentration on the road and respectful manners when they're behind the wheel, especially when they need to get somewhere and they're running late or something like that, or they just impatient. Maybe you in a car that's in the right lane, going slow, thinking about your situations in a way where you're sunken and you're trying to come up out of the water, right? So as you paying attention and homing in into your inner self, there are these other vehicles that one is behind you riding your ass. You could just feel that while you trying to release things, you ain't taking more things that's happening behind you. Then they got 5 other cars behind you and they waiting to pass your ass, and they get the chance to pass you up, and they do like, 65 into 35 just to show the aggression that they have towards the way that you're driving. Then say if this an area where it's along the beach line, we already know water gonna slow somebody down. So having this right here, rushing waves of people coming through, somebody even blew the horn as they passed you by, and somebody even looked at you silly, and then the next person even stuck their middle finger up at you, or they just threw their hands up like, what is it giving? As if you ruined their opportunity and moment to be able to stay in that one lane and to be able to continue to flourish wherever they wanted to go, whatever they wanted to do. Only thing they was respecting is the motherfucking electronical traffic device. And they barely was respecting that, because when the light turned red, they still breezed through that bitch. And did they think about you? The whole time, no, they thought about you when it was behind you. They thought about you when it was passing you up. And then they thought about breaking more rules as they went ahead in life. These the type of reckless people out here that has information. And then you have all type of leaders who actually initiating people like this into occults and into secret wisdom and hidden knowledge, and then but they supposed to be straight as a whistle, and when they not straight as a whistle either for even allowing for this buffoonery to go on. You mean to tell me you initiate people into something that's supposed to be sacred into the Creator, as far as giving you a divine energy where you able to connect with your ancestors, but then on the other rim of reality, you say, you know what, I feel like starting shit because I gotta take a shit. And then you just upset and mad, I ain't taking nobody's shit. This is to the person that's riding in the left lane, in the right lane, then the left lane, then sticking fingers up and just going crazy and irate and just punching on the gas, making it sound like a motherfucker got a VA Hemi in that motherfucker. Spiritual warfare cause a lot of emotional trauma, not because it works, because it's time consuming, because it's envy involved, because it's something at stake. If someone do that to you, you're going to want to do it back to them, or not the same thing, or you just want to keep them away from you because you don't even know why. A lot of times we don't know why somebody has this envy and grief and strife towards us. And then they figure they can monopolize off it by slowing us down even more, right? When we already slowed down in our woosah zone, right? Those to all the people who are intellectually blessed to be able to understand the words that's coming out of my mouth. Like I said before, taking a bath is one of the ways that we release this transformational effect that somebody put on us. We do that and we wash it away. Now you want to start adding more ingredients to make you feel like you closer to home. Then you put you a little bit of salt in there, and then you add some lemon in there for purification to purify that motherfucking demon that they try to throw on your back. Another way is to be able to pray. Pray your truth, what's in, the truth which inside of you. None of that fake shit. None of that shit that you got to go reading from a book. None of that shit where you got to go remember affirmations and all this type of shit. What is your affirmations? What are some things that you say when you find yourself against a cold brick wall and somebody try to lay you out flat? If you want to overcome anything, it's going to take the persistence of you to be able to release that shit. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about releasing what someone has given you. Just like anything that you intake into your body is going to release that later on down the line. For some, it'll probably be a couple of minutes, depending on what you eat. Everybody want to practice in some type of spiritual thing. But I'm here to help you with your power, to help you heal yourself. And this is some of the ways that you can heal yourself in so many ways. And this is some of the ways that you can battle spiritual warfare. And this is some of the ways that you can look at it as this nigga right here talking positive, or this nigga talking kooky, or this nigga talking negative, or this nigga talking enlightened, and like he's driven by the divine, and I feel it within my soul. Your brain is going to be wrecked, and now you're going to wreck the brains of everyone that's around you. You understand? You can be young and then you don't have no experience in nothing, and you going through the whole thing, and you can have parents and it feel like your parents not even helping, or they can't even see what the fuck is really given. That's because sometimes when you're going through a spiritual warfare, how much could you say? It's just like it's just like you being in a physical fight and you talking while you in the fight. You only can say so much, and maybe you probably crying saying, "I'm getting my ass whooped right now." Then that's when you have people who love you, and then you find out that, you know what I'm saying, they're going to take your battles that you go through, and they're going to reflect that, and then they're going to be judgmental towards that. And then, you know what I'm saying, nobody think about all that when they feel like, look, somebody is out here throwing stones for no particular reason, acting like it's me, acting like it's my situation that got them in the situation that they are in today. You see how they try to make everything about themselves. I told you, when people are very confused in the spiritual realm, they go everywhere. They go all over the place. They stop everyone. They don't care who it is. But then the problem is you got to be careful who you do these things to, because some people just as nasty as you. When God, I use that word loosely, is in control, who gonna stop you? When you are in control, who can stop you? The only reason why you feel like you're not in control because it feel like you gotta be obedient to a lot of things that's happening around you. You can be going through some shit, then the next person can be going through some shit, and then the other person can be going through some shit, but they want you to help them through their shit, and you already going through some shit. It's just a shit fest that's going on. But then you gotta separate yourself a little bit. Separating yourself will allow for yourself to be able to breathe in this forgiveness of your own self, assertiveness, right? The way you assert yourself. Maybe you can't assert yourself because of all the things that are going on. But what is possible? Man, I tell you, man, this a fucking nasty world. What is fucking possible? When you don't see no possibilities at all, and other people saying that they didn't pray for you and help you out, and and all this, and you got prayer warriors and teams, and it still feel like you're back against a cold brick wall, right? That's because it's a time and a place for everything. You have to be able to discern who's for you and who's not for you, who's against you and who's not against you, because everybody is not against you. Sometimes it can be our past that is against us, right? Our past accusations, our past mistakes, or the old you can be coming against you, right? The old you with the old things that you did before, which you don't participate in anymore. You have changed that velocity and that vertical line of yourself. You're not even on the same flagpole, but yet and still, there are people that's pushed back, way back, and they can't get it off their mind. They can't get the war that they had to fight, maybe against the old you, off their mind. Maybe it wasn't even that fucking bad, but maybe they got wounds somewhere in the sign of Charon and they took it bad, right? In Chiron, that right there is an asteroid. It's a deep healing wound. With the spiritual war and how people try to come at another, this is what you do. You wash it away. You find you some space and some quiet time. You play something to enhance. It can be soft trumpets. You know what I'm saying? It could be a goddamn flute, a solo flute you playing, and it's bringing the ambience that you need in your life so you can be able to manifest something different within you by manifesting what? Manifesting whatever was brought against you. Because you're right, baby. Ain't no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and it won't. But it'll feel like it because you're going through it, because it can feel like it's prospering against you. But then at the same time, you have to understand and discern. It's a time and a place for everything. Them fuckers gonna get exactly what them fuckers tried to put out against you. Because they was wrong for that shit. They had no business even doing that shit. You ain't even know what the fuck it was given. You're grown ass motherfucker. You mean to tell me you ain't hurt no fucking body, but yet and still somebody tried to come and hurt you? You know when you know if you just sitting down and you're in a crowd and shit, and then somebody threw a motherfucking somebody threw something, or somebody sneezed, you know, but you know it was in a circumference. Let's say that one. You in a crowd, somebody sneezed, you smelt it, and you fucking felt some of that mist. It was odious. The smell was odious. You understand? It made you have to turn around and be like, who the fuck did that? Who the fuck just did that? Who the fuck didn't cover their motherfucking nostrils and their fucking mouth? See? But then you just blast on everyone. You didn't even take the time to observe where the fuck it was coming from. Automatically, you start dispelling your motherfucking curse, hoping that because you said that, they would have came out. But by somebody looking at your aggression and your madness and your insane behavior, they ain't gonna say shit. They're gonna let you try to figure it out. You looking, you scanning, you can't tell. It seem like 30 motherfucking bobbleheads all near you, tucked in. You just can't even fucking tell where it came from. Now you gotta observe every fucking thing. I gotta observe this motherfucker face. Make sure the eyes ain't watering. I gotta make sure. I gotta see if anybody got drool coming from their motherfucking mouth. If somebody wiping their motherfucking mouth. If somebody got a motherfucking handkerchief out covering their mouth. You're a disrespectful motherfucker. But at the same time, what happens? You just go off. And that's the base of spiritual warfare. Quick-tempered. Can't discern. It didn't even happen in your face. And you mean to tell me, for motherfuckers who don't have no relationship with the divine energy of their ancestors, you mean to tell me a motherfucker is just gonna jump right into the spiritual realm like that and thinking that karma is supposed to come up on that person? I don't think so. Your ancestors ain't want to do no shit like that. That shit comes from another dark, deep motherfucking graveyard site. That shit come from the dead, and it comes from those who don't have no motherfucking connection to do with you. And it also comes from the motherfucking devil itself. Your ancestors don't operate like that. You should know. You should know who the fuck you is. And you should know who the fuck your ancestors is. You gotta you have to understand that if somebody is doing spiritual warfare, are they using their ancestors? Or are they using some other motherfucker, some other negative monster out there, some other motherfucker out there that can impede on you like that? Guess what? I don't like spiritual warfare, especially when it's blindly done. Using out here, other people out here to be able to work these spells. And I'm pretty much sure they motherfucking pussy itching or they motherfucking dick is shriveling up because they all fucked up. They doing all type of fuck work in the spiritual realm. They fucking dead souls. They carrying around a dead pot of motherfucking rotten gold. Can gold turn rotten? Yes, it could. In the hands of an evil, malicious motherfucker. In the presence of the fucking devil. In the presence of the fucking Anichi. You get sage and you sage your fucking self every day and you release and you clear your energy. You clear the energy around your home. You clear the energy around those who are around you. You stop reflecting back with a motherfucker and put up a perception, right? A wall of perception around you. Those who trying to block your blessings, or those who trying to block your road and your path to glory. The shit gotta come to an end, and when it do come to an end, what are you gonna do about it? Some of us, we go through a mental state and it happens so long and it feels like that, like it's hard to even fucking shake up from this shit. The dirty fucking dog is what you need to call a motherfucker after you done shook up out of it. And guess what? You fucking fight back and you keep your motherfucking heel on their fucking neck until your ancestors in the divine energy and your discernment said, that's enough. I don't even want a part of this. Because why? It's draining your energy. Are you able to sleep? Are you able to go to work on time? Are you able to spend time with your family? Are you able to spend time talking to those who you love? Is everything just all wild and chaotic? Every time you open your mouth, you have nothing good to say. And every time you open up your thoughts is always fucking negative. And every time you turn around is always a clown looking in your face. You have to do something great. You have to do something you ain't never do before. You have to do something your family members ain't never had to do before. Because they don't know this. They are heavily far, deep, unintuned into this shit. Those who we ask for help, some people are heavily based into religion all over the world. It's just not Christianity. It's all type of religion out there, okay? So it doesn't, and let me tell you something, on the real, that shit don't matter. That shit don't matter what fucking religion you belong to. Cause you only doing it because you must think that it's working for you in some type of way. Because you comparing yourself, your situations to another situation, and you like, well, if I'm in this environment and then they get to praying and I have other people help praying and I can be able to get over the hump or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But if you're the type of person that always get into the hump, then how the fuck you think somebody gonna keep having to come to your rescue? You yourself, the power is within you yourself. If you didn't know none of that shit, the power will naturally lie in you, your motherfucking self. I don't know how to heal myself. Get your ass up. I don't know how to pray. Get your ass up. I don't know who the creator is. Get your ass up. Going all deep down the rabbit hole. Who is the creator of all? We can't go no deeper than that. If you want to, you're a fool. And you can be a fool all you want to. That's all on you. That's how you was manipulated. That's how you grew up. That's your prosperity. That's the way you think. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you do it. I don't care the hour or the moment of time. But you got to know deep within is where it lies at. Deep within is your mentality and your emotional state. Deep within is the power that you have on the physical realm where you're able to take things to a new level in a way that you think and new strength within you that you never thought that you had before. I never knew that I can work 3 jobs. I never knew that I was so powerful in my communication. I never knew I was so powerful in re-establishing my relationship with my family and with my friends. I never knew that I kept my mouth closed this whole time, so I didn't know what I was capable of really doing, of really reconciling with people. I didn't know it felt so good to apologize. I never knew it felt so good to say no because I'm sick and tired of being trampled over. I didn't know it felt so good to say, look, I got your back when your back need to be backed up. I ain't know it never felt so good just to say, hey, it's okay to apologize sometimes. It's okay to have an open heart. It's okay for someone not to listen to you because they're listening to someone else. The devil on their back. Give yourself some encouraging words, even when it's hard for you to give yourself encouraging words because you looking for motherfucking encouraging words yourself. You done ran out of encouraging words. That's some real shit. That's reality, though. You know what I'm saying? Look, the main thing that you need to understand is that there are people out here that are nasty in the spiritual realm is something that they're going to be working up and working into, and it's going to get crazy out here. You talking about plagiarism, that's going to be at the all-time high. Copycatters. Then next thing you know, a motherfucker thinking they walking around here thinking they the best motherfucker spiritualist there is out this bitch. I'm trying to help you understand that the power lies within you. If you didn't know, if you want to go deep down the rabbit hole and want to know all these energies and this is that energy, this is that, you don't even know your own fucking divine energy that you have within you. Do you know your ancestors? And then next thing you know, you running off talking about you this, that, and that, and this. I want the fucking title, but then you want the fucking money. And then it becomes more about you using your fucking energy, and now it overpowering the discernment and the real situation or the real process of what you was getting yourself into to begin with in the beginning of all this shit. Maybe you are a spiritual person and you still gotta live a life to the point, like I said, you go to work. You got to cook, you got to clean, you got kids, you got a husband, you got a wife. You got a grandmother, a grandfather that you're taking care of. Maybe you got siblings, a brother, a sister, somebody that's staying with you. Maybe you adopted other kids. Maybe you stay in a place where it's so cold and dry. Maybe you stay in a place where it's so far to walk. Maybe you stay in a place where there's no stores that's close by. It don't matter where the fuck you at. And that's how spirit works. When I say the Creator has created it all, how could you justify much more than that? Wake up, wake the fuck up. Your fucking brain will be in your asshole by the time you trying to figure out who is God. And then by the time you try to figure out, as I say that word loosely, as you try to figure out also who is behind it all. That's why everybody say motherfucking evil is behind it all. Evil, do that want to see disruption? Yes, maybe. But also evil is another thing, right? Evil is charming. Evil is dynamic. Evil is manipulating. Evil is attaching. Evil is remembrance, right? It remember the emotional state of people, places, and things. It's like when you see homeless people that are missing fortune out on the streets and they're holding up the sign in their hand, and what you see them going to that same spot. Like you always drive past there, but you already know, like you see new people out there with new signs in that same fucking spot. That spot holds energy. It's a memory, a begging energy where it knew hey, this spot right here must be a little bit prosperous. I can gain some currency off this spot right there. Take care of yourself and take care of your mentality and your emotional state. Don't let nobody ruin your life. You got so much of it to live. No matter what happened in the past, fuck the past. We say it on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Fuck the past. Till then, till next time.
Captain, our computer is picking up a strange signal.
Captain, this song is dedicated to Virgo. Virgo is hiding with you know what I'm saying?
Here, sir, you better take a look at it.
I'll talk to you in a few, though.
Hey, how you doing?
These are the days of our lives. This when you know you're gonna run in. This when you know that you're ready. This when you know you're not quitting. This when the might get stronger. This when the bones get harder. This when the calluses they start growing and then your emotions get stronger. This when your heart get to thumping. Just when your mind get to stomping. Just when you
thought you heard something. Damn.
Man, slow.
Virgo, I just want to tell you this one thing. You're amazing at whatever that you do. The gold is following behind you. You are gold. You are platinum. You are the diamond in the rough. You are the things that other people don't want to go out there and do. Those things that are hidden and those things that are buried. You bring it all back to life, rejuvenating the process. You got me on a new road. New show. Only thing I'm really trying to do is grow. You got it. I know I'm impatient, sometimes bear with me. Even though I know you won't scope. Every little detail down to the person. Why you trying to do me with no hope?
You got the power.
Why you trying to do me with no trust? Why you trying to back me up against the wall and try to tell me you got it all under control, yeah. You and you got a plan, yeah.
You got it all under control.
You got it all.
I understand that.
Got a plan, yeah. In your hand, yeah. Got a plan, yeah. Understand, yeah. You got it all.